Some amazing things are happening in the market right now, and of course, Pepe is pumping. I want to make this video to share my honest opinion on why I think Pepe is pumping and why I think it could be a bigger pump than before. I'm not here to just be bullish about Pepe, Bitcoin or anything like that, so I want to back it up with facts. I've got a list of things that affect the market right here. I want to go through the list, give you all the key points, and in the end you will know exactly why Pepe is pumping, why Bitcoin is pumping, and why this could be the start of the next bull run. But of course, I don't want to be just like infinitely bullish. It's impossible to predict the future with Bitcoin, Pepe, and similar. If someone tells you that they can do so, then they are lying, because if they knew what would happen in the future, they would shut up, take a loan and put all of their money into what's going to happen in the future, ride it all the way up and retire their entire family tree. But that's not what's happening. Everyone is doing their best to predict the future, and here we are trying to predict what's going to happen next. First up, we have big volumes moving from altcoins to Bitcoin. This might seem like it's going in the opposite direction of what we want for pumping Pepe, but this is actually what is pumping Pepe. Since big amounts of money is moving from altcoins to Bitcoin, it means that people are just seeing Bitcoin from the outside and in, meaning that people might think that this is the start of the next bull run. So where do I think this money is coming from? I think it's coming from altcoins, as I just mentioned, but I also think it's coming from the global recovery of the market. It's kind of looking like the market is about to recover. It's impossible to predict. Next week, maybe the housing market is going to crash. We don't know. But from looking at the S&P 500 and the Dow and Jones Industrial Index, it is looking like we are seeing a recovery of the global market. Looking at the S&P 500, we can see that it's now in a daily positive uptrend. Looking at the Dow and Jones Index, it's actually been in an uptrend on the daily chart for over a whole month. All of this kind of ties into the inflation of the world. It's kind of stabilizing, or even in some places going down a little bit. This could be because of more money printing, so this might not be the end of the bear market. We could still see a further dip. The pump of the S&P 500 and the Dow and Jones Industrial Index might be people trying to predict what's going to happen next when they see inflation stabilizing or even slightly going down. People are predicting that the markets are going to pump, and so they buy in. And if the market pumps, that's great. But if the markets don't pump and recover, then it might just be a fake out or a fake pump from trying to predict the future. I know markets can be a little bit weird like that, but basically what is going on, if we look at just trends and the overall cash flow moving in and moving out, it is looking like the market is recovering. Looking at the Dow and Jones Industrial Index and S&P 500, we are seeing higher highs and lower lows, but still not breaking out through the all-time high previously. If that happens, it would seem that we have confirmed an uptrend, a really good uptrend that could last for a long while, but it could also be that it bounces on that as it would be resistance. But it's hard to predict. All we can do is sit back, relax, and see what happens. There's also a lot of speculation going on if this global market recovery is due to AI increasing the overall productivity of the world. It's hard to say. Personally, I work with and run multiple different companies, and I must say some companies have big improvements in productivity from AI and some are barely affected. I think we will see an increase in productivity as AI improves for pretty much all markets, but I also think we will see some companies be behind if they don't integrate AI. So it's kind of interesting going forward here. Some big companies might not be able to change fast enough, while some smaller companies are going to absolutely explode. So we've also been seeing a lot of regulations in the US, meaning that a lot of money has been moving out from crypto, but might now be trying to get in and get a good position. So first, US was kind of attacking crypto, and they still are, but we also see some really cool crypto adoption. It's really easy to see. You can just follow Binance on Twitter and you'll very easily see all the other countries that want to work with crypto, and there is a crypto adoption coming, and that would really start the next bull run. How does all of this lead into Pepe pumping and Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin is trying to predict the future. Everyone wants to ride Bitcoin into the next bull run. So everyone is sitting here with cash on the sidelines and they're waiting for the next confirmation of the bull run. And so when someone predicts, like let's say you have a lot of money and you're with a lot of people that have a lot of money, and you think this might be it, this might pump Bitcoin, you put a bunch of money in, that pumps Bitcoin a bit, and then everyone else thinks, holy shit, Bitcoin just pumped, and they put money in, and then more people put money in. And then we have what looks like the start of the next bull run, but it could just be Bitcoin trying to predict the future and not a real bull run. So it's still uncertain, but it really is trying to look like it's trying to break out in combination with the global market trying to break out. And as we have said in previous videos, we will only see a breakout when the global market is recovering, because otherwise people do not have money to be putting into crypto and Bitcoin. How is this making Pepe pump and not Dogecoin and SHIB and so on? I think that people want to find the next meme coin. And since SHIB and Doge have already kind of had their run, it's also really hard to pump them because it requires so much more money. I think once people see a small pump in crypto, everyone will just storm to Pepe, and that will pump Pepe like 10%. And then people see like, holy shit, Pepe is pumping more than other projects. And then another 10%, another 10%. And then we have the pump that we see now, like 50% in like a day or two. It's kind of scary and it's kind of cool at the same time. It's like people know what's going to happen next, so they try to predict it. And trying to predict the future kind of makes the future or writes the future. So it's like nobody actually can predict the future, but it looks like they can, because if everyone is trying to predict when Pepe will pump the next time, and when everyone sees Pepe pumping and they go buy Pepe, then Pepe is gonna pump. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, if that's what you call it. There's one thing that I think we should take into consideration. I think there's a lot of desperate money in crypto right now. A lot of people bought and are now in a loss. A lot of people are holding, waiting for crypto to recover, and they are scared. So I think once people see that the project might pump another meme coin, maybe they could retire, maybe they could not. It's really hard to say. It's kind of like gambling money still left in crypto. There's also a lot of inflation and shit going around in the world, meaning people are even more desperate to make more money, to have a better life. I can say just from personal experience, things are getting way more expensive. Maybe it's more where I live, but a lot of stuff has just doubled in price. We see this with multiple industries. This doesn't mean that people have to spend more money. For most people, this just means a decrease in life quality, because people will still spend the same amount, they'll just get less. Let's say you have an average income and you bought a specific amount of like meat and so on for your food. Now you will not be able to afford the same amount of meat, so you'll have to pull that back, buy something else. You see your entire life quality just being rug pulled away underneath your feet. And so you try to make up for it. And so people are desperate to recover their life situation and recover their life quality. And so once they see an opportunity like this, all the desperate money is just gonna flow to it. They might just lose even more money because they are desperate. But this is what could really pump Pepe, because people are desperate to find the next meme coin. So what am I doing personally? I'm looking for uptrends and downtrends. I'm longing and shorting. It's all based on like 4-hour charts. It's gotta be a little bit faster here for Pepe. Uptrends, downtrends, long and short. I don't play with too much leverage on meme coins like this. Maybe 2x leverage or 3x leverage at most. If you play with 5x leverage and 10x leverage on this, I believe you will be liquidated, because it can swing up and down super fast, especially on some exchanges with lower liquidity. So make sure you do your own research on trading and all of that, but there will be some great opportunities ahead. You could long it, but it's really hard to say when it's gonna stop pump. So you got to use a stop loss properly, but there will be some great opportunities to short it. I think one really good way to predict when it's gonna start dipping is looking at the trading volume. Now, I know this is a little bit different. Some people look at technical analysis and so on, but I think it's really good to look at the trading volume, because you can compare it to other pumps on Pepe and similar. And if you look at the trading volume, if it starts hitting kind of like a cap and it starts slowing down, then that means that people have already cashed out and people have stopped buying. And so when the trading volume starts to slow down or hit a peak, then it could be a good sign that you should start selling or cashing out or shorting and similar. I believe it's not something that people normally look at, but if you have a trading volume of $2-3 billion, doing another doubling is not going to be just a double in trading volume, because more people are going to sell because they'll make even more profit. So you really find a cap on that trading volume, and it's going to be more easy for you to predict when you're going to short a meme coin or even long a meme coin. That's my own personal strategy. I'm doing all of this on MEXC exchange. I'll leave links down below to sign up and deposit bonuses. I'll also be doing a bunch of trading on BYBIT, but I do more of like Bitcoin, Ethereum trading there and so on. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.